of competition throughout the pack. They tend to break up into little groups, and the level of intensity within those groups is quite extraordinary. Here's John Bowe trying to fight his way back. He's in 18th spot after that tangle with Neil Crompton. Crompton served his penalty with a drive-through, but quite often it's the man who receives or who's on the raw end of the stick gets served up even worse, because you lose so much position. John Bowe's right back there after looking so competitive with that great third-place finish in race 2.
Seaton's in 19th. Lowndes is in 20th. Four-time winner at this circuit, but never in a Ford, and not this time around. Seaton holds on to his position.
There's Crompton fighting his way back too after that drive-through, on board with Craig Lowndes up the inside of the Ford Credit Falcon. But it's a fairly futile exercise for Lowndes. He's right back there in 20th spot, fighting over 20th. So, once again, the Double O Motorsport team struggling to get a result. They come out pretty quick out of the box when they arrive here. Just things not going their way once again.
It's just been taking a look out the times at the front of the field, and Jason Bright and David Bernard have been going second for second around this circuit. Yeah. Bright still has the lead over Bernard, and gee, I mean, there's not much they can do now, is there? 8 laps to go. You can't imagine that Jason Bright and the Holden Racing team are going to self-implode, but Lowndes now comes up on the inside of Paul Radicic. Sneaks through there as well.
You see Jason Richards and the Team Kiwi Commodore. He's racing in some pretty illustrious company there. And the Team Kiwi Commodore, they've been the big improvers of 2002. No doubt about it. But they're right in here, mixing it up with some of the big names in the sport. And there's your order. The yellow boxes on the side of the PlayStation race score as Jason Richards sneaks up the inside of Paul Radicic. Contact there between those two cars as well. But he manages to pull off the manoeuvre. Neil Crompton now looking for a way past the Team Kiwi Commodore. These yellow boxes, I was going to say, show how these cars have progressed in this race, how many positions they've made up.
Well, it makes you wonder if Radicic has got some sort of problem there, because this came into turn 6. Not only did Richards go past him, but Crompton joined the queue as well, and then about 3 others. Look at this. About 3 others have also gone shooting past Paul Radicic as well. Yep, Faulkner's gone through, Wills has gone through. Must be Russell Ingall down there. No, it's Stephen Richards. So, troubles for Paul Radicic, car number 18 in the Shell Helix Ford Falcon. We're heading to the home stretch in race 3. Bright has it at the moment, 2.3 seconds behind is the Ford Challenge of David Bernard, Greg Murphy in 3rd position. Then it's Jones, Kelly, Tander, Skate, Barguana, McConville, Marcus Ambrose. At this rate, Jason Bright will be our overall round winner. We'll find out on the other side of this break. We're back as John Bowe puts some pressure on Max Wilson. And Craig Lowndes continues to throw down a last-second challenge to try and make his way up the field. He's up into 18th position at the moment.
Nice clean move by the veteran John Bowe as he sneaks up the inside of the better electrical Ford. John Bowe now moves up to 17th spot. Or is that 16th? 16th spot, so he's clawing his way toward the top 10 in a car that's been very, very quick all weekend, but just out of luck. Not so this man, Jason Bright. He was there to take over the reins when his teammate faltered, and he's done an excellent job in maintaining this incredible winning record for Holden Racing Team in 2002.
0.2, 5 laps to go, mate. 2.2.
Team just giving him the gap over David Bernard in the Haviland Ford. Bernard really has been a standout performer in 2002. He had a shocking rookie season, but he's really got his act together this year. Very consistent and very fast.
Well, car 18 is in pit lane. It is over for this round, and Paul Radicic, can you believe what a difference 12 months have made? What has happened to this car? It's undrivable, I understand.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe it. We during practice we were right up in the top 6 to top 7, and then we put on the new batch of so-called Dunlop tyres, and we just went backwards. The car just will not put its power down, will not turn in, and the tyres just deteriorate. And you know, the first set there started off fine in the first part of this race, and then just dropped away rapidly. And the finish it off, I think Jason Richards there hit me and washed me wide, and I come across and it bent the front steering arm.
Are you concerned about a bad batch of Dunlop rubber?
Well, they are, from what we can work out, a new compound, and they've seemed to have affected us. You know, we back-to-backed them with an older compound tyre, and it was half a second quicker. So we have to say for us, that was the case.
Hard luck.
Yeah, what a difference 12 months makes. Shell team absolutely dominant. Paul Radisich, pole position and 3 race wins. And look what's happened to the Shell team in 2002. Really struggling, particularly here at WA. But this man, as I said, David Bernard, really done an outstanding job in 2002. He stepped up to the plate where Marcus Ambrose has had 4 weekends. David Bernard has been able to step in and give a strong result for the Stone Brothers operation. Full credit to Ross and Jim Stone for persevering with David Bernard. There was a time last year where he was just caught up in so many accidents and having so much trouble. Really, a lot of people predicted his departure from the team, but they've stuck with him, and this year he's really delivered. 9th in the Shell Championship points standings, and we've got another good points haul from this weekend.
Yeah, the best way to deliver is to be consistent in this championship, and that was David Bernard's goal, wasn't it? He just said, we'll just keep chipping away and try and keep moving up at every round. That's what he's been doing. He's going to come out of here with another 122 points, all things being equal towards the end of this race. Greg Murphy, this guy will, at this stage, finish 2nd overall. Bradley Jones in car number 21 is in 4th on the road. So they go arm wrestle for arm wrestle, the Aussie male team. They managed to bounce back when things get thrown in their face, and you can see the times there, the difference between the car in front of him and the car behind.
Look at that, it's down to hundredths in most cases, isn't it? Hundredths of a second. 5 100ths, 2 100ths, 9 100ths, not even a tenth of a second around a 2.4 kilometre circuit. Just shows how competitive these cars are at the moment. There may be some people at home worrying about the future of the Aussie male sponsorship of the Brad Jones team following the collapse of parent company WorldCom. Well, the word from the team is that it's business as usual, and let's hope that it can continue, because they really are starting to hit their straps in 2002.
Good bunch of guys too. They enjoy their racing. They're having a good time this year. Kim and Brad Jones are characters enough as it is. Throw John Bow into the mix, you got yourself a whole lot of fun. There's the battle group that you're looking 5th and 6th, Todd Kelly and Garth Tander.
We saw Garth launching an attack a few laps ago, but he still hasn't been able to find a way around this car. Bright still the race leader, 1.6 seconds the gap between himself and Bernard, but you get the impression that Jason may be just backing it off a bit at the end of the race in sight. Final lap coming up indeed for our race leader. And this is the first time we'll not see Mark Scaife on the podium in the V8 Supercar Championship in 2002. Currently in 7th position. And it all went wrong for the champ in race 2. But there's no doubt about it. He's picked the right race meeting to falter. He's done so well in the double points rounds. That's what's given him such a huge dominance of the points situation. This one's only 80 points per race, so the damage to his championship lead will be minimised.
Yeah, plus he got 80 points out of race 1, so if you're going to miss out on points, you've got to make sure that you get maximum in the bag before you start to dip out. So Jason Bright now comes around in car number 2. The Scaife streak comes to an end, but the Holden Racing team just keeps on winning. Jason Bright wins in WA and flashes the lights to celebrate his first race victory of the year. Make that his 2nd. He took one out at Hidden Valley, so Bright comes across in 1st. Bernard 2nd, Murphy 3rd, Brad Jones 4th, Todd Kelly 5th, Garth Tander in 6th, Scaife 7th, Mark Warner comes across there in 8th, and Cameron McConville is 9th, and Marcus Ambrose in 10th. That means overall, like Marco just said, that Scaife will be off the podium for the first time. The podium overall will be like this. Bright, that man, is not only the race 3 winner, but the round winner, the winner of round 6. And 2nd overall will be Murphy. 3rd overall is David Bernard.
Well, the Stone Brothers team can take heart from that performance, certainly. They got caught up in some trouble earlier in the weekend, and Greg Murphy, great drive. He'll take second place on the podium. And it was an outstanding drive by Murphy, and the chips were down earlier in the weekend. Kmart team managed to claw its way back into contention. So too his teammate Todd Kelly, with an engine failure in race 2. He started off the back, and by some slick pit work and good race speed, Kelly fought his way up into the top 5 as well. So an impressive performance by the Kmart operation as well. So Jason Bright pulls up in front of the podium. We'll take the cheers from the crowd. Let's have a recap how they finished race 3. David Bernardo was down to 1.5 seconds at the end. He just couldn't get there. Greg Murphy, 5 seconds in arrears. Brad Jones, good performance from the Aussie male Ford. Todd Kelly fought his way back into contention. Garth Tander couldn't get past the Kmart car in the end. Mark Skate and Jason Barbagallo.
Marcus Ambrose, a top 10 finish for him. Cameron McConville sneaks inside the top 10 as well. 9th in the Lansvale Smash Repairs Commodore. Morris 11th, McLean 12th. Rick Kelly, Russell Ingall, John Bowe, Stephen Ellery. That's where Lowndes finished, ahead of his teammate Neil Crompton. Max Wilson 19th and Jason Richards 20th. Right down to our last contenders for race 3. And you can see that Tony Longhurst dropped 26 positions. Craig Baird didn't finish this one, but Jason Bright is our winner. He's with Baz.
Yeah, great race, Jace.
Oh, mate, we should have been doing that all year. We had the speed all year, we just haven't been able to have the luck, and you know, made a few mistakes myself, so it's been pretty disappointing. But you know, finally, first place. So hopefully we can sort of continue on from here and finish off the year this strong.
And what about towards the end of the race? Bernard was catching you a bit. What were you doing?
We stopped pretty early for tyres, obviously. So you know, our tyres are getting pretty ordinary at the end. When on the restart, I just wanted to get the gap out as big as I could while I had the lap traffic there, and you know, then we just wanted to keep that gap. So as you know, we're looking after our tyres and not sort of burning them up in case there was another safety car at the end. So you know, Dave was obviously going well, and I guarantee we couldn't have gone much quicker anyway.
Good run, nice to win.
Thanks, Barry. Cheers.
Well done.
Jason Bright has just moved up 3 positions overall on the championship ladder, which of course still belongs to Mark Skaife. We'll check all that out for you when we wrap up this round at Barbagallo. But right now, let's move along with these interviews, find out what they're thinking. Rusty.
Well, Dave Bernard, after what looked like a tough start to the day yesterday, you've bounced back and finished on the podium. That's a nice confidence boost.
Yeah, we've been in the wars a bit this weekend, but got too much damage to the car, so that'll keep Ross happy. Yeah, great race. We worked on it all weekend and got it really good for that race. Mate, I was trying 10 tenths every lap to catch Friday, but just didn't quite have enough.
Seemed as though when the cloud cover arrived, that helped you, did it?
No, yes and no. I didn't know when the cloud cover arrived, so it's hard for me to say. But no, the tyres hung in there, and I just drove it hard. Bridie was probably able to relax and you know, sort of go easy.
The year of consistency continues. Well done.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Good weekend, Murph.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, mate. We got caught out a bit on there coming in for the stop. I was coming in, I don't know, there must be some shit down on some water or something, oil or something down on the track, and fired straight off.
Term, that, is it?
Yeah, luckily I got through. I don't know how I got through that sand, but anyway, it was no, it was good. Glad to be on the podium and a good result, got some points and finished all the races. Good start.
Well done, Ace.
Thanks, mate.
The VB300, it threw up an amazing challenge. It threw up a very, very big crowd, and it also provided us with a different winner for the first time this season. Round 6 of the championship belongs to Jason Bright. We'll wrap it all up from WA right after this. Well, we discovered that Mark Skaife is beatable in the V8 Supercar Championship, but we also discovered that the Holden Racing team for now remain unbeatable as Jason Bright collects a race win and the overall round win here at Barbagallo Raceway in Western Australia. A podium that doesn't feature Skaife for the first time this season. Bright, Murphy and Bernard finished round 6 on the podium. Skaife in 4th overall. Then it was Bowe, Kelly, Bradley Jones, Cameron McConville, Tony Longhurst and Neil Crompton. How does that affect the championship? Well, Mark Skaife is still well out in front, but his lead has been diminished by 50 points. However, he's still got a hell of a lead. Greg Murphy moves up 1 position. Todd Kelly is next. He dropped down 1 position. Jason Bright was the big mover. He went up 3 positions courtesy of that, so he's in 4th overall. Then Ambrose, Lowndes, Richards, Bernard went up 2, Tander and Bow 10th overall for the championship. You know, there were so many questions coming into this one. Is the championship well and truly over because it's been such a dominating performance by Mark Skaife? And Baz, I know that you've been keeping a close eye on that one, but wow, what a hell of a round. I mean, they threw everything at him.
Well, it was incredible, wasn't it? You have to say Skaife didn't have a lot of luck this weekend, but makes a change, I suppose, doesn't it? But I tell you what is good, the fact that the organisers here, we've had 3 really good races. The organisers have done a lot of work to the circuit and that. They made the pit lane a lot wider, and it's really paid off.
We talked about this surface and the impact that it had on the tyres. You were down here in pit lane throughout the race. You must have seen some incredible rubber flying around.
Well, it's surprising, you know. I think the Dunlops have stood up to it really well. And the other thing that's really surprising is the fact that most of the good teams had 4 really good tyres to put on at the end. I think they used the second race as a bit of a, if we can have a bad one, you know, I think we'll take the second race. And the third race turned out really great.
All about tyre preservation. We said that from the top of the show, and that's exactly what proved to be true. So Jason Bride wins it. Holden Racing Team wins it.